Hi everyone, Bart Woodcook here. I am so excited to show you my simple four-step system for success. I've been using this system now for over 25 years, and it's helped me create a lot of success in our industry here, and I helped others be very successful with the system also. As things change in the world, I want to help everybody. By following the simple four steps, I believe that anybody, if they have the desire to become successful, can be successful in business working as a team with us by just following these four simple steps. One of the key components for our success is duplication. And if everybody's doing the exact same thing, you really can't stop your business. It just keeps growing. So our job really is to make sure that everybody follows the exact steps and duplicates properly. Then we have a successful team and a successful business, and you can't stop it. At that point, whatever those big dreams or goals you have, we have a better chance of accomplishing those goals by everybody working together as a team. And by being duplicatable, it's just one simple step closer to success. Let me show you how simple this really is, these four steps. So let's get started. Okay, the first step in the four-step system is let's create a business plan. Now, if we were spending millions of dollars on a traditional business somewhere around the world, we would always have a business plan because we need to know when we're profitable. Maybe we need to borrow money from a bank to get started. Um, we just need to know what direction we're going, a roadmap, you might say, and the business plan will help us know when we're going to have profitability. But what I find interesting in our industry and networking, that when people are only spending a couple hundred to buy product for themselves in a business, they don't take it quite as serious as they would be spending a million on a traditional business. I've always treated this industry no different than a traditional business. And we have to change our mindset. So we have to look at this as a very serious business that can pay to you for the rest of your life. In fact, you can will this to your kids, your great grandkids, and there's no reason why this business can't last forever. So we need to take it very serious. So the first step is a business plan. Okay. Now, on one sheet of paper, here's what I want you to do. And I'm going to show you on the whiteboard, and you'll do this at home for yourself. On the top of the page, what we want to do is we want to put free products in 90 days, which means we're making more money with Synergy Worldwide than what it costs us to buy those products. Okay? Pretty simple. 90 days free products. Plus, the reason we use 90 days also is because if we're not satisfied with any of the products or the business in 90 days, then we can have a 100% money back guarantee and you're out nothing. But this is why we put this at the top. The second step underneath that is you want to put down, what do you want out of this? Let's say you and I have answers to the biggest cardiovascular disease out there, to health and wellness and you name it. And I believe these products can truly help millions and millions of people out there. And I believe people want these products all over the world. They just don't know where they exist yet. With that being said, there's no limit of income you can make here. So what kind of income would interest you? Would it be 500 a month, 1,000, 2,500, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000, 100,000? What's that number that you really have a desire to go? Now, the average response I get when I ask that question to somebody anywhere in the world is 2,500 would change someone's life, which is pretty fantastic. Let's just use the average, for example, on our business plan today. We're going to write down 2,500 So you have free product at the top. Underneath that, you have 2,500 a month that you want to make. And let's give it a reasonable date. Let's say a year, 8 months from now, we're going to hit this goal. Okay? Pretty simple. But for some of you that want to make that 5,000, 10,000, 50, 100, whatever that number is, if I can ask you just to keep those numbers low at the start, and I'll show you how it works up to hit your goal anyway. So maybe don't go over 10,000 a month in euros or pounds or dollars. And that way we can hit the goal and then double it again type thing. On the next line, underneath the 2,500, I want you to put 10 hours a week, which means I'm willing to work 10 hours a week to accomplish my goal. Now, some of you that are really organized out there can still hit whatever goal you want income-wise by working 1 or 2 hours a week. It doesn't take that much time, especially after 90 days when you have the ball rolling forward, that you can create whatever you want with very little time. But definitely on this line, put 10 hours a week, okay? Now, at the bottom, what we're going to do is we're going to put a list of people you want to be in business with, okay? For example, if I ask a question to someone, how much income would interest you to join our team here with Synergy Worldwide? The average response I get is 2,500. Then the second question I'll ask somebody is, okay, I'll help you make 2,500, but how many people are you willing to introduce to Synergy Worldwide as your business partners? The average response I get is 5. Okay. On this, again, let's use the average response that I get. I highly recommend on this is some of you sponsor way more than 5, and I'll show you the math on that. The more people, the better, but let's just use 5 for right now. Now, what you want to do on the left-hand side of the page is you want to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you want to keep the middle empty because you don't know what name you're going to put in there yet. And when you contact a business partner, this is where you put in their name in this spot. And on the far right side, I want you to put 500, either pounds, euros, or dollars, on the far right on the same line. So what this represents in our compensation plan is we have what's called a mega match portion of the compensation plan. We have 8 ways to get paid. On the compensation plan where it's mega match, if I make 500, you make 500, okay? If I make 1,000, you make 1,000. If I make 5,000, you make 5,000. If I make 10,000, you make 10,000. It's pretty simple. And that's based on, the mega match is based on what's called basic commission. And basic commission is simply you're building 2 teams of people. And it's all about volume. So if you take your right leg and it has X amount of volume, and your left leg has more volume, okay, which means you'll get paid on whatever the lesser volume leg is. So this would be your right leg. And if I made 500 on my lesser volume leg, since you sponsored me into Synergy Worldwide as your business partner, if I make 500, you make 500, okay? So what we're going to do in this case scenario, we're going to average 5 people making 500 a month. Now, again, some might be making 100, some might be making 1,000, but they're all going to average 500 each, okay? Now, again, the more people you bring in, so if you create a list of 10 people or 20 people on that, then you need to make your 2,500. It's a lot easier. It's a lot smaller numbers to create the same amount of money, which is interesting. And what I think is very exciting about this compensation plan, most compensation plans, when it comes to income and how you make money, it's very confusing. I've written comp plans out there for 2 large companies, and some of these compensation plans, you just scratch your head. It's very tough to understand. But what I find very interesting about this compensation plan It's very simple. I can explain to you for the first time in network marketing history, in 30 seconds, I can show you how to make 2,500 a month, which is very unique. And it doesn't matter. I can also show you in 30 seconds how to make 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month or 20,000 a month or 50,000 a month or 100,000 a month. And all you do is reverse engineer the math of the mega match. Okay. And ask the question, how much money would you like to make? Okay. How many people are you willing to bring in? Great. And then we average those people on the match to create that monthly income. It's pretty simple. That's right there, the business plan. One of the most important steps on doing our business plan is we're going to be using universal law to be attracting all the income we can possibly get out of this wonderful opportunity. Here's what I mean by universal law. It's no different than the law of gravity. If you and I jumped out of a building, the law of gravity would take us to the ground. It's just a simple law. Well, it's no different than abundance to ourselves attracting money. We need to be using every universal law we can to attract this income. So when we do the business plan, we're going to put our intent is free product in 90 days, which is pretty simple, which basically breaks down to about the 5 people we bring into the business, helping them make about 40 a month. We're going to match that. And that's one of the ways we can get free product out of many. Okay. The second aspect to universal law is we want to show this is what we want to make. We want to make 2,500 a month. Okay. The third aspect is we're willing to put time. We're willing to give our life 10 hours to this opportunity to create this income. Then the next step is simply how we're going to make the money is helping these 5 people, for example, make 500 each. Now we're going to make 2,500 in return, and we're putting it out there. Okay. But to complete this universal law, we need a visual of where the money's going to complete it, to make it full circle. That's why it's so important on step 2 is to create the visuals to show this is what I want. And it's also at the same time important to double that to the right side of the page to unblock if you have any blocks, and then keep moving forward. And also to help your people unblock by doing the same process. This will complete the circle of attracting the most universal law of income to ourselves. Step 2, we need some visuals of what that looks like. Where's that money going? And the best way to do it is just a simple photo of maybe you're trying to pay off credit card. Maybe you want to take your kids to Disneyland. Maybe you want to buy a new car or travel the world or whatever that exciting thing in your life is that this money can bring you. What you want to do is take pictures or multiple pictures of what that 2,500 represents. Okay. Some of you might be scratching your head, why am I doing this? Now, when I first started in this industry and came from traditional business, a friend of mine taught me this simple steps, and I was blocked. Okay. I honestly believed that I could not make 2,500 a month. I was blocked because, one, I didn't want to sell products. I didn't want to stand in front of the room. I didn't want to do a lot of stuff, but I still wanted to make 2,500, but I really didn't believe I could do it because I wasn't a salesperson and I wasn't willing to go out and sell products. A friend of mine taught me this simple way to unblock my mindset. And what he did is he goes, okay, let's fill in this book with photos and what you want to accomplish. And I thought, this is crazy. This is just, and he goes, Bart, this is the most important thing in your business because you got to visualize it. You got to have that belief and faith that this is where it's going. And so this next step, this will help you unblock. Now, every single human is blocked somewhere. Okay. We're all human and it's okay. So by this next step, this is the way that I found to unblock myself to really have more abundance in my life and to bring a lot more income into my business. If you have a photos of 2,500 on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, what we want to do is double it. So now we want to take pictures of 5,000 a month and whatever that looks like. Now, if you stare at those two pictures, if you're buying a car, the car's a little nicer. Maybe the vacation's a little longer or better. Maybe a nicer room. Maybe you're paying off credit cards faster or whatever that goal or dream you have. It's now we're putting it out there. Okay. So we're unblocking and now we're seeing, okay, I can get to 5,000, which is pretty neat. So now we've gone full circle kind of in the universe to attract more money, more income, and to hit our goal. But then we go back to the business plan. Okay. Now, this is what's exciting and so simple is let's say you really get excited and go, I like this 5,000 a month a lot better than the 2,500, obviously. How do we get there? Simple. We go back to your 5 people and we help them average 1,000 a month instead of 500 a month. Or we can sponsor more people too, another 5, which I recommend that way is always the best way. So, or maybe a combination of both. Never stop recruiting. And so let's just say our 5 for right now for the math, we help our 5 make 1,000. Now you're making 5,000. Once we hit 5,000, we move the photos to the left-hand side. Then on the right side, we want to show, okay, let's double that 5,000 to 10,000. How does those photos look? Is the car a little nicer, trip a little nicer, paying off credit cards a little faster, maybe going into retirement a little bit more fun. And this is just going to help you keep on blocking. And all we're doing is moving the people you brought in as business partner up, 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 helping them achieve bigger things. And you automatically achieve bigger things yourself by helping others get what they want. You get what you want. It's a pretty neat concept. But the compensation plan is so easy, you can see how it just keeps working its way up because those people want to make 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month too, and they're only at 1,000. Okay. So what happens when those 5 beautiful people go, well, I want to make, 5,000 a month. What happens to your income? It goes way up. But we have to unblock first. Okay. We have to just do this properly. And what's exciting about this, every single person can do the exact same thing. And what happens is the people you bring in, their goals become your goals, and we work as a team. This step is, I think, very, very important, that visual and knowing what you want, and sometimes knowing what your people want. But don't ask to have your people show you what they want. Have them, if they volunteer that information, great, but don't ask for it. Let them show you if that's what they want to do. Some people's dreams and goals are very private, and that's where they like to keep it. Those are the first 2 steps. The third step is simply make a list of 20 people, not 19 and not 21. The reason this is important is when I first got in this industry, I made lists of about 100 people. And guess how many I called? I called 0 because it was so overwhelming that I didn't call anybody. By breaking it down into smaller pieces, it made it so I was more comfortable to just call those people as my potential business partners. Now, on this step, you'll want to practice maybe with everybody, but maybe don't call your best people at the very first. Maybe make a couple practice runs first. It's like playing sports and you want to be a gold medal Olympian. You're thinking about winning and that goal and training your brain, focusing positive thoughts and hitting your target. So you have to practice. You have to go over this. And I recommend just really mentally going over the 4 steps many times in your head so you have it subconsciously and teach others to do the same thing. And that's going to be your best way of success because the key to success is duplication. And so far, everything we're doing, you would have to agree it's simple and everybody could do this, those first 3 steps. Step 4 is simply, what do we say to people? How do we start our business? We want to make a really large business and have it very successful. But to do that, we got to put our team together. We need to bring in business partners. And my suggestion is a little different than maybe you've heard in the past. And I've been doing this a long time, and I just don't like that sales approach or that anybody aggressive. What I'm looking for and you're looking for in our business is we're looking for people that have really large dreams and goals, but yet they don't have the vehicle to accomplish that big dream or goal. So really what we're selling here is not a product. Everybody's using the product. What we're selling is the opportunity to have whatever they want in their life. It doesn't matter if they want a new car or beautiful villa in Spain on the Mediterranean or whatever that large dream is. We can help them get it with Synergy Worldwide with the compensation plan and a product the whole world needs. But to get to that point, we need to have simple conversations with people. Okay. And in those conversations, what we want to do is we want to just ask lots of questions and really listen to those people and just see if they have a large dream or goal in their life. And what we want to do is, as a team, show those folks, hey, we can help you with this large dream or goal. Now, let's take a couple of people that you know what they want before you even have a conversation. Take someone, for example, that's retiring. Let's say they're in their 50s. They want to retire, but they probably don't have the money to retire. The conversation is going to be totally different with them talking about, okay, great, where are you going to retire? What are you going to do? What we're doing is we're having a conversation until they say, well, I can't retire. I got to keep working. At that point, then we can say, well, what if I can help you reach that goal? What kind of money do you need to retire? And how can I help you? How can I serve you better as another human? Maybe it's a single mom. You know, we know what a single mom needs. A single mom just needs the basics. She needs a dependable car, a great place to live, clean food, new clothes for the kids, and just to breathe a little bit. You know, being a mom's probably the toughest job in the world, and there's a lot of people out there we can help right now as a team by helping them get what they want. And with Synergy Worldwide, there's a chance that we can help this single mom get her life and have a nice little income. You just have to have nice conversations that are natural with people. And really, again, what we're looking for is anybody that has a desire that's willing to fight for those dreams, that just really wants that lifestyle, and they're willing to fight for that dream and work hard to make that happen. That's the perfect person you're looking for. Okay. But to do that, you're going to filter through a lot of people because a lot of people don't think that way. Some people are happy with their job, and that's okay. So what I try to do, as soon as I meet somebody in a conversation and we start talking about income, what I try to do before I bring them in the business, and again, I don't know if they want to do super things in the business side or they just want to be a customer and try the product. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen them. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to simply go, okay, what kind of money would interest you working with me in Synergy Worldwide that I can help you accomplish? And hopefully if they answer and give you a number, then you know that they're serious. A lot of people won't give you a number. At that point, what I want you to do is go, okay, what about 500 a month, 1,000 a month, 2,500 a month, 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 20,000, just kind of throw it out there and see if anything sticks and then talk about it. Then again, reverse the engineer on the business plan. If they want to make 5,000 a month, for example, great. How many people are you going to bring in on your team to help that make 5,000 a month? Okay, I'll help 5. Okay, great. Let's help 5 make 1,000. I'll help you do it. And that's how you're going to make your 5,000 a month. Now, before they come into Synergy, what we want to do is at least have them do a business plan. At that point, if they don't finish the business plan and can't even do that, then you probably want them as a customer. And you're going to find that you're going to have more customers than business partners. That's just the way it works. Most people don't want to fight for their dreams, okay? And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. All you're doing is using the 4-step system to screen people through the business plan. So as fast as you can, You want to have a conversation about income, what it means to them by creating and doing the business plan for them over the phone, face to face, and show them exactly what kind of money they can make. Now, let me give you just a quick example just on reversing it. So let's just say someone wants to make 5,000 a month. Great. Then the second question is, again, how many people are you willing to bring in as business partners to create that 5,000? Five. Okay, great. Let's help five people make 1,000. What if they say 10,000? Okay, great. Let's help the five people make 2,000. I want to make 20,000 a month. Great. Let's help the five people make 4,000. And again, I recommend never stop sponsoring. You want to bring in 10, 20 people because you could have crazy numbers at that point. So never stop on your sponsoring. The second thing is you want to make sure everybody gets on subscribe and save because we want those monthly orders coming in. That's what creates the business. It's all about a product. But what we're doing is we're focusing on the business side. And the reason we're doing this, because before COVID, there was a lot more money in the world that people could just buy extra products and have a lot of more customers. Okay. Now money's a lot tighter. So what we need to do as a team, we need to help the average person get free products. If we can help thousands of people get free products on your team, your business is solid forever. Okay. My goal, just on a side note here, I want to save 1 million people with cardiovascular disease. That's why I still work so hard. I love doing what I'm doing. But that means 1 million people getting free product on subscribe and save. And now that will be my number one goal. Okay. Meanwhile, there's going to be people hitting their goals, whatever that number is. There's no limit. And hopefully we'll achieve and hit everybody whatever they're looking for in their life. We'll accomplish that as a team. It's exciting. We have every piece of the puzzle for success. But again, I really feel this is the toughest part in your business, putting your team together. At least it's for me anyway. So I really want to make it simple. So I really want you just to listen to people and guide them into conversations when they go, what is this? What's the product do? Or what's the business like? At that point, I want you to go, hey, let me introduce you to my business partner. We're going to do a 3-way phone call. He's amazing. She's amazing. And you're going to pick someone in the upline above you that's best suited to talk to your person. Okay? And it's simple as that. And then that person you're bringing in is going to see there's a team there and you got total support. And there's no limit to how many times we can do that. That's really how we want to talk to people. Just simple, organic, use the tools as a filter. Don't prejudge anybody. First approach everybody on the business and show people, hey, what kind of money would interest you? And if they're not interested in that, then those people become your customers. These are the 4 steps. It's very simple. But what you want to do is it works kind of funny where you need to do the 4 steps first before you talk to anybody because you use the principles on the 4th step on the first step. So it's like a big circle. It all comes around. So definitely use the 4th step to have conversation with people so you can build your team and show people the business plan on the first step. So hopefully this helps. This concludes part 1 in my simple 4-step system for success. Please join me in part 2 where I go into more detail of examples of how to talk to people on step 4 in the 4-step system.